How do you achieve God's will for your life? The most simple answer and most direct is by being disciplined, spiritually disciplined, physically disciplined, and mentally disciplined. But that's only part of the truth. For yes, discipline is a massive part of that. Each time that you make a hard choice, it empowers your prefrontal cortex to be able to do hard choices again. It makes it a lot easier in the future, and just gets rid of the dopamine that's like flooding through your mind constantly. But I'm just going to give you a little story on why discipline will never be enough to achieve God's will for your life. So, have you ever heard of David Goggins, the Navy SEAL who completed 100-mile races with broken legs? He did Hell Week with broken ankles. He's done Ultra Ironmans, which is twice the distance of a regular Ironman. He's done so many crazy things. He's also dropped 100 pounds in just 3 months. He's done all these crazy things, and his entire online persona is discipline, as being like one of the most disciplined, if not the most disciplined man on earth. Even to this day, in his 50s, he's running 200-mile races. So whenever whenever I started trying to get into running, I put him as my role model. I saw him do all these amazing things, and me being a slow, bad runner, I saw that and I was like, I want to be just like him. In fact, I wanted to be better than him. So I did my best. Um, I tried my best to be like him, to always do hard things. But after a few months of this, just a few months of training, I realized it is so much harder than this. And I realized that there is something more there. Some other reason, some other how on how he does this. And I figured out the reason was purpose. After my freshman year of high school, I started reading his books and I started running even more. And during this time, I learned once again, burnout was very real. And I figured out how he didn't get burned out. And that was by finding his purpose in things like proving haters wrong, motivating people like me, and just showing the world what he could do despite his shortcomings in his past and his origin. But as we all know, those are very bad purposes, especially whenever you know that there's a much greater purpose above us. For God is the way, the truth, and the light. He's the only one that could give us true purpose, and He empowers us to do so many great things. And I realized this. After that summer, that's whenever I started finding my purpose in God. And then discipline came so much easier. So, once again, find, how do you achieve the will of God in your life? There's three main things. So, I've already talked about discipline and purpose. The third one being delighting in the Lord. For if we lose sight of the Lord, then we'll lose sight of our purpose. For all three of these things go hand in hand. And it's very important that we don't forget about any of them. Delighting in the Lord was quite possibly the most important of all these three to achieve God's will for your life. For if you forget about Him, once again, you will forget your true purpose. So I will be praying for you, but go find God's purpose and achieve it. Delight in Him and be disciplined in faith and spirit. God bless.